Hello, hi, welcome back to the What is K-pop podcast, on which we have audio issues, and we already know this. The episode's probably going to be quiet, and I literally cannot give a rat's ass. We're trying OBS now, which is a free site. I am being led to believe. So if it starts trying to charge me for things, we ain't gonna put up with it. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about today because this is mainly a test to kind of. I'm so sorry, I just want to establish if this is actually working. And if it doesn't, I will cry. Because I actually have, like, I've yawn tears in my eyes, but they might actually turn into real tears because I my tongue just gurgled. Yeah, so like this podcast, it isn't everything. I know that obviously I literally like with all this, I put out an episode saying like, oh yeah, I'm done. Well, am I really? Yeah. Well, felt like it. Basically. I wasn't too sure I was gonna go with things, and then I did some research and I tried to get onto like different recording things. They wanted me to pay. Apparently OBS is free, so we're going to use OBS and then transfer the files to Riverside. So hopefully things work. And if they don't, you know what? I might crash out. And I don't think my parents will stop me. I will quite literally just like start crying and not stop, and that will be it will be the end of me. So we're going to talk about SM with Ballad, which is a collaboration ballad unit of SM Entertainment artists. And technically, they're not around, but, they're just members of what was the unit. I want to talk about it. I just want to tell you who's in it, and we're going to be happy about it. So obviously we have Taeyeon, Yisung, Shumi, Changmin, Chen, and Crystal still technically in the unit, I guess. Even though Chen's no longer. It's very complicated. I'm just going off of what K Profile says. Jinu, who is in Pentagon, left the group in 2017. Jae, Kyuhyun, and Shang Liyin have left the group as well, and Jonghyun unfortunately passed away in 2017, and they debuted on the 29th of November 2010 with I Miss You. So we have Taeyeon, who was the leader. She's a member of SNSD, if you can recall. Then we have Yesung, who is part of Super Junior. Shumi, who is in Super Junior, and Changbin from TVXQ. Chen, who is part of EXO. Crystal, who is a part of FX, and now on to like the former members, but I thought they're all former considering I don't think this is ever gonna come back. But it's always nice to know who is a part of a project, Next we have is Jay from Trax. I actually listened to one of Trax's songs. They did like an anniversary song, so I just listened to it. It's actually pretty alright. Then we have Kyuhyun from Super Junior. Then Chang Li-yin, who is a like soloist in China. She did a song with Timeless with Junsu, who used to be in TVXQ, and that song I actually have it. I'm pretty sure it was on my Spotify Wrapped this year because it's just like so pretty. And I found out that actually it's a cover or like a remake of a song by a male artist and Kelly Clarkson, who did What Kills You Makes You Stronger, What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger. It's something like that. And I was like, dang. So I listened to it and I was like, Chinese one's better. I'm gonna be honest. It's just like the flow of it, I think, just makes it so much easier to it makes it yeah, it makes it easier to listen to, if I'm gonna be honest. And then we have Gino. He's part of Pentagon. And obviously he left in yeah, I think he sort of quickly left after debut. And then we have Jung Hyun, who used to be in Shiny, and he unfortunately passed away in 2017. Oh yeah, there are a few like SM Ballad and Performance. Yeah, SM Performance. And they have like the best performers in the group. Yeah. Oh, okay, so sad. That's interesting. I might talk about them at some stage, but yeah, to be fair, I love a good ballad, so I really should like have a little listen. But yeah, I am into ballads, but then also I don't like it when there are too many like different types of like people in the song. I don't know. I just very particular about this sort of stuff. And I know that like that probably won't shock anyone who actually knows me in real life, but yeah, honestly, it just does my nuts in hearing about different things. Oh, how lovely. Sorry, I just looked at the news thing for Chris. I'm hopefully, if this works and you can hear me, I will be doing the review of what happened this month. And apparently, Jae has accident from TVXQ, used to be in TVXQ, alluded to his sex life. Now, I get that Jae honey, sweetheart, you are 41, 40. I don't know. I don't really care. You are a grown man, and how your lower back and waist is hurting. Okay, I don't really want to know if I'm gonna be completely honest. And apparently he said that he hasn't had sex recently. And I'm like, babes, honey, sweetheart, Jijin, tell us doesn't mean you necessarily should. Like I get like they obviously like yeah, we get that we're your parents, Sophie, but you don't need to tell us about like X, Y, and Z. We just wanna sit and watch some telly before going to bed at night. Like, please don't tell us about this thing. And I'm like, but you're my parents, though. Like, isn't it like your duty to know about my life? And I'm sure that at some stage those things would have been okay for me to say. But then my parents are like, we're too old for this. Yeah. Because my mum's 56 and my dad's 67. So realistically, I should have been moved out and I should be living by myself, potentially living with my sister, starting my own life. Is that gonna happen? I don't know. I'm sure when my parents had kids, they were like, oh, I wonder kind of what they're gonna do with their lives. Even though obviously my parents say like that they didn't have expectations around that sort of stuff. I'm sure they were like, oh, I wonder what sort of kids they're going to like, what sort of people they're going to turn out to be. And now that we're here, and that, like, you know, my sister wants to move on with her life, my parents are like, you know, this other little spawn of Satan, she should really be leaving soon. Like, why isn't she? And you know why, boys and girls? Do you want to know why? It's because it's free here. Well, realistically, I could pay board, but what actually happens is that instead I do chores, which again made me thinking to yourself, but Sophie, why haven't you been doing chores for years? It's been, I have. What kind of thing that my mum in particular, not my dad couldn't give a rat's ass. What my mum did was that she taught, especially me, I don't know about my sister, but she taught me like basic household like tasks. She taught me how to like chop food, how to cook eggs, how to like put on the washing machine, how to wash dishes. Like she had to teach me that sort of stuff, and I'm sure like my sister obviously watched it and like slowly picked up on that sort of stuff. But like when she went to uni, but like she had to teach my mum had to teach me that sort of stuff. So when I was getting old enough to want to do stuff, I'm so sorry. When I began to want to do stuff, I started doing like laundry. I would just put on a load of laundry, even though like my mum didn't ask me to. Or I'd stick a hoover around, or I'd like clean something, or I'd do this, that, and the third. Like it isn't so much as like I have a list of chores to do each week. It's more that I have the skill set of being able to do it. And my mum kind of is like, you know, this sort of needs to be done, like, do you want to do it? Like she'll do those tasks as well as me, but she never forces us to do it. So I guess that's kind of like how I contribute towards the house, yeah. And it's just like how we used to, me and my sister kind of grew up, that we knew that like we needed to learn those things, and our parents were never the type to force us to learn. But to be fair, the only thing that they really want me to learn to do is wash the dishes, and I know how to do it, and I'll do it if I really have to. It's just that it's gross, and I just don't do it on a regular basis. Like I'll do it, when they go off to take my sister back. Like I might do it then. But if it's just like a regular day, like today, where in which like I'm not needing to, I just won't do it. You know? It sounds really weird, but yeah. I think that is gonna be the end of the test. So obviously this goes out on Christmas Eve. I do wish it was more of a festive episode instead of me just being aggro, but it wouldn't be a podcast episode if I wasn't aggro. Yeah. Thank you as always for listening. I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye.